So don't fall for the trap of getting the cheapest pricing on suppliers of 168 just to be welcomed with a crappy product that even costs more to ship than the actual product itself, and just to find out when you receive the product that it's not as good as they made it out to be. So let me show you some quick tips on how you can actually filter your suppliers on 168 so that you can get the biggest bang for your buck if you want to start an e-commerce business. So we're going to be breaking this down into 3 different categories. The first is the speed of delivery, the response times of the supplier, and also the overseas experience. All of these put together is very important as they can make or break your e-commerce business. Some warnings is that when you're going straight to the supplier, although the pricing is very attractive, you're going to run into some issues if you're not careful, like buying products that are meant for Chinese markets that don't have the certifications for your country. The payment problems of actually paying the supplier directly, as they only accept Alipay or Chinese bank transfers. But if you follow along, I'll be showing you how to do this on the app as well as the desktop version. So let's get started about the 2 different ways that you can actually find your supplier on 168. The first method is through keyword search. With keyword search, in this example, I'm going to use LED Bluetooth lights. And then the other example I'm going to be showing you is through image search. Now, the difference between these two is that keyword search, you can filter it down more specifically based on your requirements. But if you use the image search, the filtering options definitely get delayed or they get taken away. So let's go ahead and start with going to the 168 website and the app. So here I'm logged in both on my phone and also on the desktop, so you can follow along. So I'm going to search for LED Bluetooth light. So I'm just going to copy this and search for it in the search bar. Same with the mobile app. I'm just going to paste it into the search bar and search. So here you can already see that there are filtering options at the top of the menu here. Now, there's a couple things that is quite important that I want to highlight. So first, you want to make sure they have customer service that's available 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and that it can respond. Now, this may be different during Chinese holidays, but you get the point. You also want to filter by shipping time. So when you place the order, how long does it take for them to ship the goods from the warehouse to your shipping agent, or even if they have overseas shipping channels, that works as well. Here's very important. This is the MOQ, minimum order quantity. So if you're not careful with this, you may find the ideal supplier, but lo and behold, when it comes time to pay, they're like, so what's your order quantity? And they're going to be like, okay, it's 100. You need 100 minimum before we can even start this business. So you want to make sure you select a suitable minimum order quantity for your business. And lastly, something to consider is the location that the supplier is in, which I'll be showing you in a little bit. But this area is the location that you can filter it. So let's say your shipping agent is in the east coast of, Guangdong, like in Shenzhen or something, and you want to filter it to a location that's close to the shipping agent so that the time between the product gets shipped from the factory to the shipping agent can be reduced greatly. So let's go ahead and filter these on the website. 24/7 customer service, 48-hour shipping. 2 MOQ is good for me. And then I'm just going to pick Guangzhou. Right? So super easy. This is how I did it for the web version. To do the same thing for the app version is also easy. On the top right, there's a filter option here, and you can highlight what you want to filter by. So I want 48-hour shipping after purchase, 24/7 customer support. I want the MOQ to be 2. Yeah, the city's all the way at the bottom. Guangdong, Guangzhou. Good to go. So these are pretty much the same filtering options. You can see the options are quite similar on the app versus how they are on the website. Now, something I want to add is that you may be able to find, depending on the product you pick, you may be able to further filter it with overseas experience. So the key word for overseas experience is cross-border, also known as 跨境. So here's how it looks like in Chinese. This is what you want to look for. In this specific case, it didn't show up as a filtering option, but it's just something to note that is the option that you can use. But why is that important? Because you want to make sure that the packaging and everything is in English, or at least in your home country's language. You don't want to buy the completely Chinese version that the outlet requires is Chinese. But there's another way around that. If let's say you can't filter it by the cross-border, you want to check some products and see if they have any English advertising and how their packaging looks like. Sometimes you're able to catch it. Like this one has some English. If you see no English, this one looks like it has some English too. Here you can see like certifications. Same with the app. If I select one, let's just select one that has, I'm going to select the same one we just saw there. So if you scroll down, you should be able to see more details. If you see like absolutely no English, that's a bad sign. So here, okay, dream, favorite pet. And actually a pro tip is that you can ask a supplier to send you the marketing materials they have. They might be even send you the Photoshop files and you just change it to English. Same with the videos. Here you can see the packaging. So the packaging looks like it has English on it. That's very important. And, the packaging is important. It's the customer's first impression. So let's see the web version. Like it's almost the same thing as you just saw on the phone. Really, you just want to be on the lookout for the packaging. See if it has the English is accurate and it's standardized. Otherwise, you're going to need to find a third party to do the standardized packing, and that's just going to take so much time. But that's how you search with keyword search. But let's say you have a specific product you saw online and you want to specifically search for that product and you want to know how you can do that. Well, you can do image search. So we're both here, the homepage of 168, right? On the desktop, sometimes this camera does not show up for you. That may be a couple reasons. One is that your IP address or your internet is overseas, is not inside of China. So sometimes it doesn't show up on the overseas version of 168. So you may need a VPN to be able to access the Chinese network for this to show up. I am physically in China, so I can easily, just go ahead and do that. So I'm going to search for a massage gun on both the app, which also has the same camera button. You can just select your photo album on the bottom left on the app. Takes a while to load. And then I want to search for the same massage gun. So here you can see that and I like this feature that has a good AI that you can actually search by image, but your options for filtering are a lot less, like way less than you had for what I just showed you. So in this one, it shows, okay, you can filter by 24-hour shipping. We don't have to go through every single one, but some important ones that I would go through is this is overseas certification. And that already like kind of filter it to make sure they have overseas experience. This one is MOQs, so make sure you put in here the minimum order quantity so you don't get a surprise. And then you can filter it by city and all that. So let's go ahead and do that. I want to select by 24-hour shipping. Overseas certifications. I want an MOQ of 2. See, it's really narrowing down your choices now. And you can also select a city, but you don't want to filter too much because then you won't find a supplier. And that is how you look for it on the website. You can just click on the suppliers. And I would always recommend you test, like you add the product to your cart and chat with the supplier to see how quick the response times are. You don't want to find like the perfect product, and then when it comes to chatting with the supplier, they don't respond to anything. So let's look at the mobile app. So you can filter the mobile app. Okay, see, it's a little bit different. Here you do 48-hour shipping within order. Yeah, you're very limited on the mobile app, which is another reason why I prefer using the website. Yeah, it seems like you can't really... Nope, that's the filtering of the price. Yeah, you can't filter it that much on the mobile app. So there's no like overseas certification filter option available. But as I mentioned before, you want to see their advertising if they have any English on there. That's always a good sign when you check for with a supplier. So now that you know how to properly filter products on 168 so that they can actually meet your market demands in your local markets without finding out that the product has a large MOQ or they don't even have anything in English, like even the user manual is all in Chinese. Now you can actually prevent yourself from having the problem of wasting a lot of money. But another problem people have is paying these suppliers. Unfortunately, if you don't have a Chinese bank account, it can be quite difficult. Luckily, there's a solution that you can check out right here that shows you exactly how to pay these Chinese suppliers in bulk amounts immediately.